so excited to introduce you to one of my good friends, award-winning singer, songwriter, musician extraordinaire, Mike Donehey. Mike, how the heck are you doing this holiday season?
I'm doing so great, Sammy. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. That's right.
I love it. We are trying to make this the first all-sung interview, and you are off to a 100% start. I'm so grateful. Mike, listen, people probably know you from 10th Avenue North. You're doing your own thing right now. Before we get going, can we just talk a little bit about life transition? Because one thing that I love about you is that you are who you are all the time. If people follow you on social media, you talk straight, you're real. Can you just give us a little bit of the real deal on what's been going on in your life that led to this transition?
It started with a really big fight between me and my wife.
Awesome.
Where
let's get
she
to
said,
it.
She said, I've been asking you to take time off and you haven't been hearing me. And I said, you haven't really been asking. You were hoping I would read your mind. So, you know, that she didn't like that. She didn't like that
doesn't work.
And I went to the band. This was right before the pandemic. And I said, I got to take time off. And they said, oh, we're so glad you said that. Because actually, we're all retiring. And so our spring tour became our farewell tour, became our canceled by COVID tour.
Wow.
And now I'm off on my own.
And here we are. You know, it's interesting. Full disclosure, we go way back, like 20 plus years, which I know shouldn't be real looking at us, right? Because we're way too young for that.
So young. When did you know each other? In the womb?
Right. Back in the Florida days. In fact, a lot of the bandmates are in Florida again, right? Kind of living their best lives. I mean, your new project is called Flourish, right? I know that you still now are living your best life with your family and your music. Did that come from this kind of regrowth, so to speak? Tell us about this new birth.
Yeah, man, pandemic happened, our tour got canceled, all my band members retired, and I was thinking, now what? And I kept writing songs because I write songs as self-therapy, as I'm sure a lot of musicians will attest. And I just kept coming back to this idea that maybe I can still flourish even if my circumstances aren't. And that was that was what the whole album became about, was learning to flourish inside even when I wasn't flourishing outside.
Yeah, we're showing some pictures of you with your girls. You've got a lot of really cute girls in your home.
I have 4 daughters. There's so many daughters.
You're so outnumbered.
There's a lot of crying. When you have 4 daughters, there's a lot of crying, and sometimes they cry too.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of parents that watch the show. What have you learned? I mean, let's not even look over the past decade of being a parent, but just in these past few months even, what has this experience taught you, and what have you learned from your girls as well?
2 big things. One, I learned that before this pandemic, when I would come home, I wasn't really home. My brain was still on tour. And so I've really had to learn to actually be where I am and choose where I am in order to interact with it. And that's what this song is about, The Glory I Couldn't See. And the thing I'm really learning about my girls is just learning to be interested in what they're interested in. So right now I'm on book 9 of the Wings of Fire series because my 12-year-old is really into this dragon series. And so I said, if she's into it, then I'm into it.
I think that's one of the best things I've learned as a parent, sometimes the hardest, especially when I think God always gives us a kid that just isn't like us and that doesn't like what we like, right, and that we just don't get. But I do think it sets us up so well for just learning about others. Can I just kind of go off script a little bit and just talk about how that you relate to others? I know, let's go, because I mean, when we're talking about getting out, getting dirty, getting with people that aren't like us, isn't that such a beautiful image of what God wants us to do? You do that so well. I mean, can you talk a little bit about how you've just learned to just open your doors and just relate to those that maybe we wouldn't otherwise come in contact with?
You know, I really got to give credit. If you've seen that in me, I give all credit to my dad, because my parents are the most hospitable people on the planet. Anybody watching this interview, if you drive down 95 in Virginia and you stop at my parents' house, my dad, it could be 2 a.m, he will start grilling barbecue chicken for you. He'll put his little headlamp on and he'll start flipping chicken. And when that gets in you, that we're here to take in people, then when you start talking to people who don't think like you, you're not trying to push your idea on them. You're trying to take in their ideas. And so that's what I've really tried to embody, is taking in the other instead of telling them about me first.
So good. Mike, we could do this forever. You've got a new tour coming up with Big Daddy Weave. We're going to put links below as to where people can get those. Oh yeah, that little thing. We're going to make sure we send people where to get tickets, to get your new music, all that. Mike, thank you, friend, for being with me on the Sami Cohn Show today.
Sami, what a delight. You keep doing you. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it. You do you. We're all going to do us. I hope you come back to join us for a little bit more of the Sami Cohn Show coming up.
Me too. Me too.
Merry Christmas.